time I was writing about Mary, this beggar woman from Jerusalem, and I was equating it to, you know, Mary, Mother of God. And my mother kept saying, my Mary is not like your Mary. And so I thought there's a poem in that, and I could probably, you know, explain it better. I couldn't write the poem until after she had been very ill, but it took a while. But just like with, I write a lot of Green Holly Man poems, and it's always around Christmas time, because to me the Green Holly Man appears as like the darkness of Christmas or something. So, for some reason this Mary appears to me at Thanksgiving. I don't know why, but this is called Thanksgiving. There is no mirror in Jerusalem. Before my mother had a hole cut into her belly, before she got the cancer that hissed and snaked through her insides, I told her about Mary, who was a beggar I had met on the streets of Jerusalem all those years before. Mary, sometimes as she was able, apprenticed to stitch doe-skin cloths that held coins off her neck. She had hundreds of soft pouches filled with talisman stones or crumbled frankincense. Mary, long before my mother, had a wound. She would open her robes and allow strangers to put their fingers into her bloody pouch. It made me think of sin or something. My mother slyly told me her Mary was different, that the Mary I met had been crazy with Jesus, wild-eyed but not holy. Mom said Mary was probably not a virgin and definitely not anyone's mother. She may have been the heavenly hostess of coin-filled pouches. In God we trust. This was Thanksgiving in 1989. Tonight, when the night concentrates on its breathing, when the stars listen to hear if there is a moral to my story, I have no mother to tell it to, no wounded mother to argue with. I want to say it straight. There are no stories in Jerusalem worth saving, no souvenirs worth keeping. All the mirrors have gone to rest. These stories I so urgently tell are the new old lies. Okay. I'm going to read, it's kind of interesting. When you do a book and people ask you to proof it. Okay.
Almost done.
Okay. When you do a book and people ask you to proof it, you send in the stuff and you hope for the best. And I messed up. So the poem that's in here on page 59, in case Valerie wants to look at it, is different than the poem that I had won an award for. And I thought it was interesting for the group to see that sometimes you mess up. So in other words, what I had done is I had edited and changed it. And then when I saw this in the book, I was horrified because it was too late. I couldn't do anything about it. But I tweaked it a little, and you wouldn't know the difference. I know the difference. But so this is called The Lost Daughter, and is loosely based on Persephone. I have 3 daughters. They say I snatched them from the earth. But the first appeared in a sugar cube I left on the window one night after the snow moon was round. The second I grew from a seed in a brown porcelain cup. The last came from my belly after I left on the train. Everything I wanted I kept finding. Others lose a country, a lover, a key to make things start. I lost my tongue in the moon. I had to buy back my loss with keening. I left their dream music buttoned up safe on their pillows. When I knocked on the door of patience, there was no reply. I lost the word that contains all the syllables for mother, for daughter. My mother's heart knows the salt and sand of her as she makes herself known to me. When I read bedtime stories to them, we were afraid of wolves, afraid of lies. These woods are full of them, large and small, slow or stealthy. They yip and dance before me, skirting the fire while braving the cold. How strong these lies must be to make them so bold. I know which sleep songs I shall never toss away. I am like the stranger at the rail of a ferry. I search for the last wave of a hand, the names I knew in a dark sleeping land. Thank you. Now, the students want to read, okay? So we're going to listen to them. Whether they want to or
We
we
asked
want
them to read. We'll get it.
Yes. They're happy about it. I got to take all my little